Hello, various personages. It is I, Quincy Morris, with another episode, but a special, extra special episode, because I am here with another human man. Say hello, other human man.
Hello.
This is my brother, William Umstat, and I have brought him on for a various reason. And I have a list of questions regarding things, because this is going to be a game of Fury of Dracula, but it is also going to be an interview. Because I am of the opinion that all interviews should be done in the medium of vampire hunts. And if you don't agree with me, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you at that point. So, I am going to be conversing with William regarding a thing called Dragon and Rider, which may seemingly not have anything to do with Fury of Dracula, but hey, the word Dracula in Romanian means son of the dragon. So, I don't know what to tell you. If that's not connection enough, I don't know. But, William, question number one. Who are you and how did you get onto my channel? Help, please, I am afraid.
I am human man and definitely not cyborg robot. Um, I am your brother and the designer of Dragon and Rider, which is currently on Kickstarter now.
What? Now?
As in, yes, today, right now.
Right at this moment.
At the moment that this video goes live.
Yes. Depending on my laziness, it is up right now. What is Dragon and Rider? Presumably it is a thing that involves dragons and riders.
Yes.
What is that?
So it is a 4-player card game where one of you plays as a dragon and one of you plays as a dragon rider. And you play cards similar to the combat system in this game in order to beat each other in this rock, paper, scissors, but with teams and signals.
Interesting. So, yeah, why am I talking to you about Dragon and Rider in this Fury of Dracula game, other than the shameless promotion?
Well, the combat system in this game is also rock, paper, scissors. And they went about solving the inherent problems with rock, paper, scissors differently than I did.
So what are some of the inherent problems with rock, paper, scissors as a mechanic?
Well, so the main problem is there's no reason to do one move over the others. The rock is just as good as paper, which is just as good as scissors, and they all do the same thing. And so what this game does is it adds a lot more than just the 3 rock, paper, scissors, and each one does a different thing, which is really cool. Because when they're all the same, the dominant strategy is to just play randomly. And playing randomly is not fun. What is fun is outthinking your opponent in prediction and mind games.
Yes, if there's one thing I like in games, it is meaningful choices. And someone who is more of a connoisseur of things would say, oh, there are no meaningful choices in rock, paper, scissors. You can choose whatever. But in Dragon and Rider, there are meaningful choices?
Yes, indeed. You have 3 different moves that are very different from each other. One is a super high risk, high reward move. One is kind of your middle of the road damage and healing move. And then the other one is your healing move. But based on how much risk it is, effectiveness is also based on what your partners will do and what your opponents will do.
So this isn't just rock, paper, scissors. Each of the moves does a different sort of thing. So this is like asymmetric? So like some moves are just like better than others, or what?
So the best move is always to counter your opponent or beat them in the rock, paper, scissors. But that being said, yes, the best move, winning with one of the things that I was thinking about when going through the game is I want it to be where winning with rock is like you won 2 games instead of just 1, which will make people want to do rock more. And so I took that kind of inspiration and made charge attack, where if you win with charge attack, you do way more damage than if you win with, say, ranged attack, for example.
Interesting. So winning with certain combinations are better than winning with others. And so that makes it so certain moves are seemingly better than others? Or at least have better
Yes,
results.
but if you lose with those moves, it's worse than if you had lost with other moves. So that's where the risk reward comes in. Do you
Interesting.
want to try to go for the knockout punch, or do you want to, play it safe?
Now, you said this is a team game. Explain that, because that's kind of weird. Like, so I'm on a team. So this is like a 2v2. I'm on a team with somebody else, and we're against somebody else who's on a team.
Right, yeah. So we've got the 2v2 going on. So one of you is playing as the dragon, and one of you is playing as the rider, and that experience is actually different. So the rider is going to be giving a command, kind of giving orders saying, hey, we're not doing this move. And the dragon is more setting the tone of the pace, flying in such a way that one of the moves is better than one of the other moves. So even between the two different players on your team, you have slightly different roles.
Interesting. So playing as a dragon is different than playing as a rider. Now, you said something about communication. So, like, can you just can we just like tell each other to do a move and then we do that move? What's the point of the why are there two of us? Why can't this just be a 1v1?
Yeah, so the things that will make your cards more effective are countering your opponent, beating them in the rock, paper, scissors, and matching your partner's card. And so you're trying to be obvious enough where you're matching your partner, but not so obvious that your opponents know what you're doing. There's a fine little line in between that, and that's where you operate.
Okay, so you're sort of trying to do two things at once. You're trying to counter your opponent, but you're also trying to play the same card as your partner.
Yes.
How do you... But, like, so what happens if you play different cards?
So if you play different cards, then each card has a speed value, a number on it that tells you which one takes priority. And basically one of the cards will happen and one of the cards will basically just be a waste. So if you're not matching your partner, then you're only half as effective as you would be if you were playing together.
So I'm assuming each of the three moves has a speed value of, like, one is a 1, one is a 2, one is a 3?
Indeed.
So by using math and deductive reasoning and the fact that I helped design this game, I guess that means that one of the moves can only happen if both of you choose to do it?
Yes, that would be dodge, which makes it one of the more unique moves because it's the hardest to pull off and it's countered by the move that is the easiest to pull off.
So it just adds to the asymmetry of the game.
Yes, there's a lot of asymmetry in this game.
So, like, it sounds like every move has, like, a gimmick associated with it that makes it unique from the others.
Yes, I wanted to, going back to the problems with rock, paper, scissors, I wanted there to be a reason to do one move or another move. And one of those reasons is that they're all different from each other.
Interesting. So, okay, so getting a little bit bigger of a picture. Why would fans of Fury of Dracula maybe like Dragon and Rider?
Well, because it is kind of like a short version of the combat system of this game. As far as the feeling
Impossible. This is a long game, William. Have you seen the length of this video looking down at the progress bar?
Oh my goodness, how could we
Look
ever
at
have
how
made a
long
video that long?
is.
Yeah, so Dracula games can go between 1 to 3 hours, depending on how many players you're going. And Dragon and Rider games go between 15 and 30 minutes, 45 minutes if you really don't play your cards. Please actually play your cards when it's your turn.
15 to 40. That is a smaller number, like a lot smaller. I'm not an accountant, so I can't do math that good. But wow, that sounds yeah. So it's shorter, okay, but in what ways is, like, the combat system, like, explain to me more, like, if I'm a person who loves the combat system in Fury of Dracula, talk to me, why, like, because I am a person. I mean, I made the whole bunch of videos on the combat system about how much fun it is and all the different nuances and little gimmicks and tricks and special interactions and all that kind of thing. Are there a lot of special interactions in Dragon and Rider?
Yes, there are. And I mean, what makes games like the combat system in or in Dracula and the, the game of Dragon and Rider, what makes it fun is the idea of when you get to know your opponent more, you get to think about like how they think and what they think the best moves are, and the best moves become whatever beats what people think is the best move. And so there's this constantly evolving meta. It's kind of like a merry-go-round of like, well, if you think that, say, rifle is the best move, then what? Great strength beats rifle, and so I want to play great strength in this game. And then, but if they know that they're going to do great strength, then maybe you play what beats great strength, like crucifix or something. I don't know.
Well, nothing really beats great strength. Heavenly Host beats it, or just doing a punch or a dodge is a
Right.
decent.
They're just doing like punch or dodge. So the point is, like, as you get to know people and what they want to do, you start thinking, oh, well, this move is better or worse. And in the same way with Dragon Rider, as you see people are like, oh, well, I really want to do damage this turn. So obviously, I'm going to do charge attack. But then if your opponents know that, then you should do range attack. But if they know that you know that, then you might as well do dodge. And so it's this merry-go-round
Right, but on
of
top of
going
that
around and around.
merry-go-round, it's 4 people on this merry-go-round. It's not just 1 versus 1. You have to like get into the head of your opponents, but then also get into the head of your partner.
Yes.
Because can you
And
communicate
so
in this? You said you can't communicate about like what you're gonna play.
right. And so the main way to play, the way that we like to play is where there's no public communication about the game.
Now, what if I
Now,
like don't want to play that way? What if I
there
do like talking in games?
there is an official variant where the game still works if you want to have public communication as long as all communication is public to the table. Because then it's just bluffing. Do I believe you? Do I not believe you?
Yeah, at that
And a
point,
lot of groups are like, that's a lot of fun. And other people are like, bluffing. Well, why? I already have that enough in the game just by putting down this card or that card.
okay. Next question. What is in Bucharest that makes it such a fun place to hang out?
Uh, well, I think the food is pretty good.
Ooh,
I guess
well,
I
this
haven't actually
conversation
been
got
to
dark really
Bucharest.
fast. Okay, moving on. What was the process of making Dragon and Rider?
So I spent so the first year back in 2012, I was like, hey, designing board games would be pretty fun, and so I brought like a few different games to like the play testable state, and then I watched the movie Pacific Rim, and I was like, hey, this idea of like two people acting as one person, that's pretty cool. I should make a game like that. Um, and so I did, and then Dragon and Rider was easiest to playtest. So we spent the next few years playtesting that, and now we're live on Kickstarter with a very well playtested game. Oh my goodness, I have played Dragon and Rider more times than anyone should be forced to. I read somewhere you play your game until you hate it because you played it so much. And I mean, I still enjoy playing the game, but I'm definitely approaching that level of, man, I have played this game hundreds of times.
Now, why did it need so much playtesting? Isn't this just a thing beats a thing and a thing beats another thing, or is it more complicated than that?
It is more complicated than that.
Are there like numbers in this game? Do I have
there
to do
are
math?
numbers. There is basic arithmetic. One of my favorite games is Sentinels of the Multiverse, which is the king of +1, -1 games. And there's a bit of +1, -1 games in Dragon and Rider.
+1 minus. What is a +1 -1 game?
So it's like you have like, I'm gonna do like 5 damage to you, +1 because I have better health, and then +2 because I have this cool bonus thing. That's what I mean by, yeah. And so like that's another reason why you do one move over another move, is because as you take damage, you're doing less damage, but your healing isn't affected, and the damage on the healing card isn't affected either. So that makes healing more desirable later in the game. But your opponents know that healing is more desirable, and if they can successfully counter you, then you're probably going to lose in like 2 turns, because that's the one that gives you the biggest payoff.
Interesting. Okay. So it sounds like this is the kind of game that is easier to like see in action and understand, just getting an idea based on, what's happening on a table. Is there a way that I could like play this? What if I am like a poor man who does not have money? Is there a way I could like play this to see if it is a game of which I would like?
Yes, there's a version on Tabletop Simulator right now. So if you
Tabletop
own
Simulator. That's
Tabletop
on
Simulator,
Steam.
it is on
We're
Steam.
on Steam right now, aren't we?
We are.
Do we get any sort of like kickback or like money for people buying Tabletop Simulator for us advertising for it for free? Wait, this is actually a
No.
legit question. I don't know this. Do we get money?
We get nothing.
Then what the heck am I asking this question for? But yeah, so if you have Tabletop Simulator, you can play Dragon and Rider.
Yeah, and it goes on sale from time to time for like $10. So it's definitely, if you haven't checked out Tabletop Simulator, it does have some of the fun things in it.
It is technically a fun game, huh?
Tabletop Simulator, it's a very special game. You can have a lot of fun with Tabletop Simulator, and you can also, it's a bit of an acquired taste because games are more fun when you're in person. And like with this game, it's got a lot of automation, and some versions of Tabletop Simulator, some games do have automation. But other games, it's just basically, it simulates a table, and that's what the game is.
And it just works? Like, it's just a game?
It just works as much as any game just works.
Okay. Alright, so I can test it there. Are there, like, videos that I can see to get an idea of, like, gameplay?
Yeah, so we've got a lot of gameplay videos and how to play videos and reviews on our Kickstarter page, which you can find by just searching Dragon and Rider on Kickstarter
Also,
or
there
going
will be
to
a link
Dragon.
to it in the description of this video, and like a bunch of my other videos, you'll find links to it. Also, is there like if I am dumb or forget things easily, what's just like a place I can go, like a URL that's like catchy and easy to remember?
Yeah, dragonandrider.com.
Okay, well that
the place to go.
I think that will test the limits of my stupidity, but I think I will be able to remember that. We will see. Now, we've talked about how, say, there are elements of Fury of Dracula that are similar to this game. What are maybe some other games that this one is similar to? Or, like, games, if I like this kind of game, maybe I'll like Dragon and Rider.
Well, so interesting enough, Dragon and Rider is kind of a unique game, especially being team rock, paper, scissors. Some of the games that are similar to it are games like Bridge and what's that game called? Where Spades. So basically in Spades, the kind of communication in Dragon and Rider is very similar to the kind of communication in Spades. So you know how in Spades, playing a certain card or saying a certain number of like tricks that you want to take tells your partner a little bit about your hand. And you have that kind of thing in Dragon and Rider as well. And so if you like those kind of team-based games where the game itself has the communication instead of the actual talking in words, Dragon and Rider is one of those kind of limited communication games.
Oh, interesting. So in the game itself, there's elements for communication.
Yes, so you'll be revealing cards publicly and giving bonuses to cards in order to be like, hey, don't do this, or maybe do this. And you can have those kind of fun moments where the dragon's like, hey, we should do charge attack, and then the writer kind of pulls up on the reins thematically and is like, nope, we not do that. Stop it.
So, there's mechanics in the game for some sort of communication. Now, in any given round, is it just like the same? Is it just every round you just, the same? The position of everything is the same, and the moves are all equally good or bad, or do things change from round to round based on like circumstances or card play?
Yeah, so one of the things that makes the game so easy to learn is that you always have the same 3 moves. So at the end of every round, you take back all your cards. Where it gets different between each round is how much health you have. Because, like I was saying, if you were at low health, you might want to heal more. Whereas you can actually overheal to be at doing more damage. And then when you're getting all of these positives from overhealing from your starting HP, you want to maybe take advantage of that and just do some damage. Because, hey, if we're ahead and we just do you a bunch of damage, we're still ahead and you're at lower health.
Huh. Hold on. I'm just thinking what I want to do.
It's actually really hard to play this game.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
think
This
about
is sort of a challenge for me to do an interview while also playing the game.
It is easy for me as Dracula because I can just kind of play randomly a
Yeah.
little bit, and it's just like, okay, is there a hunter in that space? If yes, don't go there. If no, maybe
Yeah,
go
yeah.
there.
So you rock paper scissors mechanic. So like, what makes a good rock paper scissors mechanic? You talked a little bit about like the problems with it. Like, why do people like it, and why is it a good mechanic in games?
Yeah, so I mean, I think one of the best examples of the idea of why rock paper scissors is fun is in the movie The Princess Bride when Hazini is doing the Battle of Wits against the Man in Black, who I won't spoil a like 25-year-old movie, but I will. That's actually Wesley.
What?
If you haven't seen it by now, seriously, stop this video and go watch that movie. It's amazing.
It's a good
But the
movie.
whole like only a great fool would play this card, and as I am not a great fool, I'm not going to play that card. But you know that I am not a great fool, so clearly I should not choose the card in front of you. And you get a lot of that mind game in a well-made rock paper scissors idea, because you want to be able to have the choices matter, and rock paper
Yeah, yeah.
scissors is a great way of making it where, oh well, obviously this choice matters because it's the choice and it's a fun thing to do.
Yeah, you use the information you've been given to make interesting choices, but then also in going to that analogy, you can have this situation where you've checkmated somebody and they don't even know it. Because like the big thing about the Battle of Wits is that Vizzini's already checkmated when he sits down and he doesn't even know.
Yes, and you will run into that a little bit sometimes as the dragon player. You can pick up on, oh no, we're all gonna die and this is bad, and it's kind of like salvaging a bad situation at that point. And then setting up traps. What's really fun is in certain edge cases, if you really get into the mind games, you can have your partner reveal a card and then do it anyway, just to be like a double reverse blind bluff. And that's super risky, but it can be quite de fun.
Oh, interesting.
Oh no, I clicked on random buttons.
I'm not gonna tell you that this is a bad move. But watch out, because it's a bad move.
So,
Okay, alright, no, let
did
me
I
ask you
just
more
accidentally
questions.
click on buttons? Are we
so-
fighting in day or night?
Oh, this is day. This is a day fight.
Okay.
So, are you experienced with rock, paper, scissors? Like, have you
Uh,
played the game a lot? Or are you, say, nationally ranked in rock, paper, scissors competitions?
I did participate in the rock paper scissors Guinness Book of World Records largest tournament at Gen Con back a few years ago. Now they've probably broken their own records since then, but
Now,
at one point
When you
I made it to like
participated in this thing, did you happen to pwn like really good and like get really high in the game and do really well?
it was single elimination, and I made it to like the 4th or 5th round, which put me in a pretty high percentage, and I got a cool bag, so
Fourth
that
or
was cool.
fifth round. So like you didn't just like get lucky once.
No, I have studied the game of rock paper scissors. What I have not studied is this game.
Well, I know you've watched my videos enough to do the saboteur trick, because you just did the saboteur trick on me. Well done with that. Well, not just. You did it earlier.
Okay, and what is the saboteur trick?
When you use the saboteur to protect a vampire and you reveal the saboteur to waste their day action. But fortunately, I foretold you doing that and moved ahead of time into Bucharest, thinking that you might use the saboteur to waste my day, actually.
Wait, did my mesmerize just cancel your escape?
It did cancel my escape. That is
Did
how
I
that
just
works.
do the big brain?
You did an amount of brain that was indeed brain. That's all I have to say about that.
Yep.
Sorry if that doesn't make any sense.
It didn't.
Like I said, it's hard to do this. So this game, Dragon and Rider, where is it? So this is on Kickstarter. So presumably we will be getting it at a point. Where is this game made?
It is made in the middle
China,
part of the country.
right?
I can't remember. It's the U.S.
What?
I believe it's not Ohio,
But I
but
thought
it's
the
around
United
there.
States had no manufacturing and everything was made in China. This game is not made in China?
It is not made in China.
So I will not be funding Uyghur organ camps if I buy this game?
Not because of my game. I mean, if that's a thing that you do, it's probably a bad idea.
Okay. All right. Good to know. So, so this is, I guess, a cruelty-free board game, if we want to call it that. So
If you want to.
If I'm a red-blooded American who loves America and wants to give money to America, I should buy this game?
The other advantage to this America thing is that, was that an actual bite?
Yeah. No. It's not daytime. But you do get a point because it's an ambush.
Oh.
So, yeah, you get a point.
Oh, and I healed. So
you
that
healed,
was the
yes.
correct move.
Oh, yeah.
But you
Very
still
much,
escaped.
Very much
Okay.
the correct move.
Yeah,
Well
the other
done.
The other advantage of Made in the US is the Pacific Ocean is huge and takes like 3 months to cross on boat. And the Suez Canal incident that you may have heard about on the news has still disrupted shipping to this day. And so theoretically, we can deliver a lot faster in the US, to the US, by the US, because geography is something that some people have studied in school.
I have heard that geography is indeed a thing. Is that true?
Based on our research, we can confirm that it is at least a hypothesis.
Interesting. Oh dear. Well, this is
Ha
this is never a situation you want to be in as a man.
ha! 4 hit points left.
Yeah, that is an amount of hit points left I have.
So did you know that Dracula is the first Batman?
I guess.
It worked so well last time. I figured might as well
Yeah,
just mesmerize
yeah,
this time too.
That is a move. Show
Because
me.
now if I do a fangs, then I bite you.
You will bite me
and
if you do fangs. Yes.
If you do an escape.
You will bite me before I escape.
Okay. That seems cool. So obviously I'm going to do fangs, but only a great fool would know fangs.
So where can people learn more about this game? I guess we already talked about that.
Yeah,
dragonandrider.com,
dragonandrider.com.
and that will take us to the Kickstarter?
Yes. It will. It'll take you to a page on our website, which has a big link that says click here to go to the Kickstarter campaign. And the campaign runs until September 18th, really 17th, because it ends in the morning. So y'all have like 2 weeks or so to come to the video, from the video to the campaign. And this game
And when
is a
will it
small
end?
box, the 18th, September 18th. And this campaign, it worked.
You have successfully made me bit. And I don't take the damage, actually. I get the bite instead. And you
Interesting.
get a point for that, so that gets you at 2.
Yay.
All right. You're
Now,
playing
if I wanted
the
to,
game,
like,
William.
Stay here and just like continue to fight you. Is that a good idea?
I can neither confirm nor deny any bad ideas that you may or may not have.
Yeah, so another thing about Dragon and Rider is it is a small box that fits in your pocket, and it's only, if you back on Kickstarter, we're giving you the discounted price of $25 plus shipping. So it comes to about $30 US. which is not the $300 or $265 plus shipping that I just spent on Iridia. So it's a little bit of a different game as far as scope and cost, because it is just a 30-minute short small box game in the vein of like Love Letter or Coup or other such good games.
I see. Now, I wasn't paying attention because I was playing the game. How much does this game cost if they get back on Kickstarter?
Yeah, it's $25 plus shipping and
$25. That is not a lot of money.
Yeah, so for US people, it's $30.
Now, if I wait and I don't back on the Kickstarter, how much will this game cost me if I'm like gonna buy it elsewhere?
Yeah, so Kickstarter backers will definitely get it first, but eventually you'll be able to find it on our manufacturer's website, The Game Crafter, and that will be $30 plus shipping. So we're just giving you a $5 discount because I want to be nice to the folks that believe in me, because we did fund already.
Well, I do like $5. It is theoretically a thing that I am a fan of.
Indeed. As much of a fan as getting bit after a mesmerized, because I was a big fan of
Yes,
doing
yes.
that.
And I am not a fan of one-on-one fights, but sometimes you have to do what you have to do, and you can't do what you can't do.
So did Mina just like not get the memo?
Oh, she's busy taking care of other stuff. She has to do her hair.
Okay.
Let me see. I need to. Oh, thank goodness. Oh, good. Okay. Other questions. When will the Kickstarter end? And give a specific date, because we have no idea when this video is coming out.
It's September 19th in the morning at like 10 a.m. So really September 18th if you don't want to be, and that's Central Time for those of you that are not in Texas or Chicago.
You have some borks.
Some borks?
You have some borks.
Where?
In Sarajevo. You have some borks and some nom-noms.
Oh, did I? I have been kind of putting down random cards.
Well, I was afraid of that because I was like, because the last time I played you, you drew like every single vampire that could be drawn in the first draw, and I'm like, surely I've killed all of his vampires. And I've killed 3 of your vampires, and I'm like, I think you might have a 4th vampire, so I just went and checked, and you have wolves there, which means I will...
Oh, yeah, the wolves. I remember placing
them
those
wolves
down.
alone. Okay, did I ask you about the design process for this game? You said you started in like what, 2012?
Yeah, it's I mean, I started it in high school, so it's not like I was working full time on this game.
Why did this take so long? If you want to talk about this, because I mean, it's a $25 game. It seems theoretically small. What?
Yeah, I mean, one of the reasons is because there used to be dice in the game, and this is my first game that I've designed. So a lot of the early years were just learning how do you make a fun game. And what I realized is that game design is basically like world building, where you create this world and you create these boundaries and structures, and then you let the players play around and give them as much freedom within those boundaries. So creating those boundaries in a way where it creates interesting choices and fun ideas. Limitations are really what make creativity thrive. So like in this game, you can only move one space.
But I don't want to be limited. I want to be able to do things. You're saying, oh, come on, really? Hey, why is it always Van Helsing? Oh, come on!
Oh, no!
Oh, no, Danny. Oh, boy. Okay, all right. Oh, goodness.
Okay, so last time you tried to escape last time. And I did a mesmerize. So you're probably going to do a punch in order to cancel the mesmerize.
Playing
But
against William is so hard because he can get into my head so good, and he's watched all my videos. And so for you people out there who are like, man, Quincy Morris, you're so smart and you're figuring out of this combat system, I am not so smart. William is so smart. But I make videos, so I get to take all of William's credit for all of his hard work in analyzing things. Oh, thank goodness I
So
got
I
away.
do all of that, and I wanted to do Mesmerize, and I was gonna play Mesmerize. I didn't draw Mesmerize.
See,
Oh man.
sometimes you overthink things and you're already checkmated. Oof. Okay,
Yep.
alright.
But I got some damage on you.
You indeed accomplished some damage.
I am a fan of the defensive vampire, or the bodyguard vampire as I call it. It's giving up points, but you know what's better than scoring points? Not losing.
I am also a fan of not losing and not dying, but not in this case, because die, Van Helsing! Yep,
Wait, did you just do a bunch of damage to me?
I did heroic leap.
Wait, but it says I'm at 13.
That is
Oh, where
fake
do I
news.
see my
You're at
health?
10.
10 out of what, 15 is what you start at?
Something like that.
I am not very used to this interface.
And they just changed it. Although it is better now, believe it or not.
It does make sense that it would be better.
Run that by me one more time. It'll be what?
Better.
Oh, okay, all right. I thought you said something weird and nonsensical.
What, you're not familiar with
No,
whatever
I'm
I
familiar
just
with the term. Now that you've said it, I didn't hear it right the first time.
Okay.
Okay. So was Fury of Dracula or games like it an inspiration for this game?
I mean, one could say that. I
Should one
haven't
say
Like,
that?
so Fury of Dracula, I view it as a hidden movement game with, like, rock, paper, scissors tied on as, like, just, like, a thing that there is. Whereas... Wait, discard one or more of your layers?
Yeah, you've maxed out your layers.
I didn't even know I was placing layers.
Well, that's what happens when you don't mature the thing.
Oh my goodness, did I not mature a vampire?
I don't know if you didn't mature a vampire. No. It gives you a warning. Are you sure you want to do this because you won't score points? If you had not matured a vampire, it would have given you a warning.
Okay.
They actually added that to the game now. Finally.
That's good. So I think of this game as kind of more of a hidden movement game with rock paper scissors tied on at the end. One of the main reasons I wanted to make Dragon and Rider is because there aren't many games like it. I mean, there are games that incorporate rock paper scissors elements, but where you see that a lot is just like, oh well, cavalry beats archers in, like, say Warhammer or whatever, or not, like Total War. So you see it as like a addition to certain games, but I was like, what if we just make a really distilled, refined version of just like team-based rock paper scissors, where we fix all of the problems and we're just like, I just want the mind game. Let's take away the board, let's take away the dice, let's just play the mind game. The cards only facilitate the mind game because mind games are fun.
Mind games are cool, eh?
And then I was like, hey, this mind game is mind game.
Ha ha ha. Funny joke.
Was it though?
Moving on to the next question.
Yeah.
How long have you been playing board games?
As long as I can remember. My first board game I played was Settlers of Catan.
Yes.
As some people would call it Catan, if
Some
you want to
people would
pronounce
call
it
it
correctly.
that. In fact, one could almost say most people would call it that. But as
Yep.
Americans, it is our obligation and solemn duty to mispronounce things that sound vaguely foreign to us.
Yep. So,
This is the
Settlers
way.
of Catan was like my first game that I really remember playing, and we played that game. Do you remember when we tried to play that game 2-player? I have
do
very
not.
strong memories.
Wait.
So our
Oh, yes,
littlest
I do
brother,
vaguely remember that now that you.
yeah. So our littlest brother was like 3 years old, 5 years old. I guess if I was 7 and he was 5, that makes sense. And the box is like, oh, you have to be 8 years old to play. And so we're like, well, we don't have another person, so we might as well just play 2-player. And that did not work for Settlers of Catan. You cannot play that game 2-player. So then we were like, hey, John, we just need you to play. So you should play. And so since my little brother has been playing since he was like 5 years old, board games, he is now extremely good at everything. And it was this terrible idea to get him so smart. Now we always lose. And like we were trying to play test a secret 3-player version of Dragon and Rider, and our first test was against John, and we're like, okay, well, I guess we need to give the player playing by himself 15 hit points. And then we play tested it with literally anyone else, and they're like, nah, 35 hit points is good. You don't need to handicap him that much. Because, yeah, my little brother is extremely good at
Wait,
all things board
did you say
games.
something about a 3-player version of Dragon Rider? I thought you said this is like a 2v2 game. Are you lying to me? Are you saying false things to your own brother?
Nah, there's a 3-player variant in the works that may or may not actually happen, but we're probably going to. I have some cool ideas. The thing about it is it's underbaked compared to the rest of the game, and I want to be drawing people to the 4-player game because the 4-player game is so much fun. I don't want people to be playing anything but the 4-player game because 4-player game is great. But there is a 2-player variant, and if we reach our stretch goals, which we might put up in the near future, there might be a 3-player variant as well, just to kind of capture some of the essence of the game with fewer player counts, because we understand 4 people, that's a lot of people. And sometimes you just have 3, and maybe you want to get some mind games with 3 people.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm not in Austria, Hungary.
That is useful information.
Do you know where I am?
Actually, it's not completely not from. I did the math wrong. I'm bad at games.
Yep. So, let's see here.
So what's been some of the feedback that you've been getting from Dragon and Rider? You said you've been playtesting it a lot with a lot of different people.
Yeah, and so a lot of people really like the mind games and really like the game. Some people are like, they want to try to like math it out and try to find the optimal move. And the problem is the optimal move, even though the numbers and the math is good, the optimal move is dictated by, sorry if my bird is crawling on my microphone. The optimal move is done by psychology and basically predicting what your opponents think is the best move. And so each move is always viable. And so that's where a lot of the development time came in, is I never wanted a situation where one of the moves wasn't a viable option. Because as far as like metagame as in this move is the best move and all of the other moves are a waste, I'm not a big fan of that in games. In fact, when I play games, I try to do the suboptimal plays and win anyway, just because I enjoy trying to like do things that you're not supposed to do. And in Dragon and Rider, that's a lot of what the game is trying to find out how to be unpredictable and do that random thing. But the catch is your partner also has to be the same amount of unpredictable as you, because 2 people doing a double bluff will most likely beat 1 person doing a single bluff and 1 person doing a triple bluff.
So what are those words and what do they mean? Because you are a smart man and I am just a dumb human man. What even? Uh-oh.
Yeah, so like there's generally an obvious move. And the obvious move is you do the obvious move. And then the like single bluff would be like, well, we're going to do the move that beats the obvious move. Because obviously our opponents are going to do the obvious move. And so if the other players are doing the obvious move, then we should also do the obvious move. Sorry, I'm choosing my person at the same time, so it's not making a lot of sense. So let me just put this vampire right here real quick. And, okay, so basically you'll have an obvious move, and then you'll have like the least obvious move, And then you'll have like the super least obvious move. And so deciding which move to do based on how predictable your opponents are going to be, if that makes sense. One of the problems with Dragon Rider that I have is it's so easy for me to make it sound way more complicated than it is, when really it's just a simple game of laying down your card and then flipping it up to see if you played the same card and if you countered. It's really a simple game. But like with most simple games, and with all games, the object of the game is just play the correct card ball. If you just play the correct card, you win. And if you played the wrong card, well, then why did you play that card? You know, obviously.
Right, but the decision process for figuring out the right card to play...
That's where the game is. That's where the game is.
So that's where the game is.
Yes.
I see.
That's where the real game begins.
That's where the
So
real
do you like this little net that I've slipped?
Maybe?
I mean, I'm not saying I'm in Space 21 and about to die, but I'm also not saying that.
Aha.
How did you move that fast?
I used rail. I went by
I
horse.
found the don't ambush them with this card button, finally.
Oh, and I'm doing renewed vigor, so I get 2 actions.
Oh. You know, I
he went to
really
Geneva.
thought...
I'm bad at this game.
Oh, man. I thought about going so many of the places that you are or were or currently
You're
could
really good
be.
at this game, William. What you have taught me, I am trying to teach everyone else. I am trying to be the Obi-Wan to everyone else's, I don't know, whatever the thing is. Oh, gosh.
I mean, it's really simple. It's run, hide, or fight.
Run, hide, or fight?
Run, hide, or fight.
But what if I don't want to hide? What?
So the option, for Dracula, the first thing you want to do is run. The second thing you want to do is hide. And the third thing you want to do is fight.
Oh my gosh. Are you freaking kidding me?
What?
You should be allowed to know this, but Mina just drew Consecrated Ground.
Okay, and is there a counter to that?
It's the card that throws down tokens on the ground to keep you from moving.
Oh.
If Mina dies, it's discarded.
Okay. Interesting.
You know, those are all...
Is this a nighttime fight?
It is a nighttime fight, yes.
So if I play this card, it'll do the text that happens at night?
Well, yeah, but you have to mesmerize me first. You will heal.
But I
do
heal.
damage. Yeah.
The plan was to
you
heal.
anyway. You heal in any event. That happens regardless.
Okay.
But
Well, the point is, I am at full health, and I really slipped the net there.
Well done, William. You've countered my...
Oh, and I have wolf form back, and I'm at full health?
You never use wolf form because you're really good at this game.
No, I used it once, or I at least tried to. There is a difference I found in this version of the game, trying to do something and actually having the game think you did it.
Yeah, that is hard to do. Wait, hold on. Yeah, somebody ought to do it. Yeah.
Oh, we're doing another fight?
Yes.
So yeah, one of the problems I have with this combat system is there are so many options, it's really hard to know what wins in the rock, paper, scissors.
Yes. It's almost like someone needs to watch like an entire 45-minute series of videos explaining what the heck is going on.
And then memorize them.
And then memorize it.
Did I just destroy your pistol?
Yes, you destroyed my pistol.
That feels like a good...
Yes, it's almost like you played the most powerful card and broke the things that are bad because of the existence of that powerful card.
So, according to your combat guide, great strength, fun times?
Well, it's just called strength, which really it should be called devilish strength or unnatural strength or something. Just calling it strength is kind of... It's just kind of a...
No, you don't escape. Oh, you had another pistol? This is not fair.
I did?
I do like how he actually has trigger discipline on that pistol. It makes this Texan happy.
You know, Quincy Morris was a Texan, and that's who I am named after.
Oh, cool.
So what is your favorite game?
My favorite game, XCOM 2
No, like
or
favorite board game.
Star Wars Rebellion.
Ah, Star Wars Rebellion. That has a hidden movement mechanic in it as well, doesn't it?
It does, and that is the part of the game that I am the most like. I understand that this is necessary, but choosing my location. Oh boy, one time I was playing you actually, and you found my base on my first turn.
That's right. I had not yet taken a turn as the Empire.
Yes.
Found your base, which we did not
Yes.
know was possible. We
And I
actually
still
had to
won that
check
game.
the rules. I'm so bad at this game.
Sorry, that is my. I just outmined a game. Do
Wait,
laugh.
but shouldn't you... Doesn't Garlic Wreath go off? No, Garlic Wreath is so bad. Garlic... Okay, guys who are
How
watching
bad
this
is
video,
Garlic Wreath?
burn Garlic Wreath. Just get the copies of it, because of how Fangs is written. If you pull off a bite, Garlic Wreath does nothing. So
Wait.
both Mesmerize and Claws turn off Garlic Wreath forever.
So what's the point? It's if you do fangs but haven't done the mesmerize.
Yes. Then Garlic Wreath does 4 damage. So Dracula has to choose to take the damage.
Wow, that's not very good.
It's so bad.
You know the only thing worse than that?
Bad.
The fact that there's another card called Garlic that is, and this is true, a different card with different abilities.
And is actually a good card. That's the worstest of the parts.
Okay, so from where I'm standing, what I want to do is do a dark call and just kill Mina Harker, right? That's what I need to do?
That is certainly a thing that you can choose to do.
Okay, now here is the question. So many choices.
Yeah, you do have a Dracula card.
Yeah, we're gonna do this.
Wait a minute.
Because
That house open? Yeah, yeah, that sounds about right. I wish you would play the game more. We need good Dracula players to whip these guys into shape. Hold on, are you still there? Hello? Stand by. We are waiting for Bird. That is the name of my brother. His real name is Bird. Hold on, sometimes I get internet hiccups. Stand by as my internet attempts to internet. Real good. Fortunately, we have a system for reconnecting to games, so theoretically, this is not all entirely wasted. He said ominously. Come on. Work. Work this time. Oh, I sure hope I don't have to edit, because if there's one thing I hate more than losing a game, it's having to edit videos. And, like, you know, Satan and sin and stuff. Okay, I guess there's actually a lot of things that I don't like worse than having to edit videos. William is going to be quite confused when I get back in. I may just end the video now, if it comes to it. Game doesn't exist. Your game doesn't exist. Okay, well, I guess we'll never know what happened there. That is... Hold on, actually, let me try to rejoin. Let me see. Oh my gosh, not logged in. Wow. Yeah, I guess my internet has kicked the bucket temporarily, but fortunately OVS doesn't have that. Well, that was unfortunate, but hopefully you guys have learned a thing or two about Dragon and Rider, and how to not lose a game, and that's to disconnect at a convenient time. Oh good, we reconnected. Alright, hold on, I'm gonna check to see if the game is back up. No, not local game, that's not what I want. I want multiplayer. Nope, game doesn't exist. Alright, well, I'm gonna call that a win for William because, yeah, he was totally kicking me in the face and the teeth and all of the various other places. Also, Nomad, if you could, fix your game, I think you said that you had just fixed it so this doesn't happen, that we don't have disconnects. And we had a disconnect, and we weren't able to reconnect, so that was kind of unfortunate. But hey, it's all good. Hopefully you guys learned a thing or two about Dragon and Rider and the art of making a rock, paper, scissors game. Until next time, may you not have disconnects, and may you have Godspeed.